Uh, the Japanese cattle ranchers. Yes, the Japanese cattle ranchers, parentheses, to be, to be. Yup, partner, you don't know what lonesome is till you get to herding cows and hanging around the chuck wagon eating skiaki. When the hoot owl hoots its tulu to the wail of a nickwick hen, and the ching-pong chirps on a chilly night, it's mighty lonesome then. And it's mighty lonesome when the wind howls through the jack pine boughs. But you don't know what lonesome is till you get to herding cows. But who's got all the lonesomeness the common law allows? Man, you don't know what lonesome is till you get to herding cows. Huh? Oh, excuse me, I'm getting laptop neck. Ugh. You know, in ergonomics, you're supposed to have the monitor at like arm's length straight ahead of you. I always did that. Always, when I was conscious of it, at least. And now with laptops, everybody's going like this. Going from like this to like inadvertently. And then you get laptop neck. Like that. Oh. Oh. Uh, subluxation City. Here we come. Da, 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 da. I need a cup of coffee. That's what I need. Yes, I need a cup of coffee. I'm needing a cup of coffee. Ow, that's bad. Okay, let's see. Okay. My disabilities have problem with studying. And this is like, it gets into homework about when I get to the 10th one. um, okay. Who's got all the lonesomeness the common law allows? Well, that's actually from an old cowboy song. But first of all, you have to have land, lots of land, under starry skies above. Don't fence thee in. Oh, there goes my vibrato. Well, how are you going to do that? By moving them beeves above the darn timber line. That's one way for starters. That's the chotamate scenario. Asodeska. Cut and shape terracing along the sides of the slopes using earth-moving technology that exists today. Even as I write, this was probably about 7 years ago, the technology for taking material from mountains and making gravel out of it to be used in concrete for buildings and tar for roadways is existent. But in this case, it can be used as the substrate for the walkways and turf for the mountainside cattle roads. Is that good for cattle? Huh? Well, some of the best dairy products in the world come from alpine cows, such as those in Switzerland. This would give Honshu Island enough room for enough cattle, not only for its own needs, but also for export. Then the poor Japanese people wouldn't have to depend on dishonest farmers in other countries who do barbaric things such as turn their cattle into cannibals. Okay, let's recap. Japanese cattle ranchers to be. Move the cattle up above the timberline. Right, so the area for the ranch, for the cattle ranching, the acreage for these huge ranches are actually what the equivalent of a dual carriage lane, in a limited access highway, cutting into the slope of the mountain, above the timberline. So there are places where you actually, now it remains to be seen, but that is a certain area that has not been developed for some reason. Now we know in places like where the mountain is too high, it comes above the ice, and the incessant freezing of winter starts to loosen the rock, and you get landslides, so it becomes too dangerous for cattle. But even then, you can herd goats or sheep or something else. So the technology exists. So, for example, Honshu Island would have room for cattle, not only for its own needs, but also for export. Okay, so let's proceed.